Okay guys, today we are going to be talking about how to book clients through Instagram as voted on by you guys through my Instagram story. So I hope you like this video you requested. I first and foremost want to point out that this is not a video on how to get likes or followers or features, because in my experience none of those have actually brought me more clients. So I don't think they're that important. I think it's great for like a little ego boost maybe, but I don't actually think it's converted to leads a lot of the time, so I'm not going to be focusing on that because I don't think there's need to. Just a little tidbit of information to hopefully make you guys feel a little better about that is I get just as many inquiries through Instagram now at like 9,000 followers, whatever the heck I'm at, than I did when I was at 1,000 followers. So there's really no difference. So all of these strategies can be implemented, and I think you can book a lot of clients through Instagram no matter how much like engagement and reach and whatever your posts are getting. So don't worry too much about that, but I'm going to dive right in for the tips that I think that you should take in order to get leads through Instagram and hopefully book some more clients. So let's dive right in. Okay, the number one thing that I think that everyone should do is to change your name itself to the location you're at and the type of photography you do. So my username is Beckham Mood Photography, and that stays, and that's cool, and people know my name by that. But underneath that, where I'm supposed to put like Rebecca Moot, I put Boston Wedding Photographer, and that is because when people are searching for photographers on Instagram, they'll type in like Boston Wedding Photographer, and I'm one of the first people that come up because that's my name. Kind of. But I really recommend doing that. It literally takes 2 seconds. It's so easy and it makes such a big difference. If you want to see how big of a difference it makes, just try to search on Instagram photographers in your area or in other areas and realize the first people that come up are the ones who have changed their name to that specific phrase. So I definitely recommend doing that. If you're a destination photographer or wannabe, you can always do like destination and your location. I just recommend having like a specific location to make it easier for people to find you. Tip number 2 is to use location specific hashtags. I know that people often think of hashtags as a way to like boost their likes and engagement and stuff, and that is cool, but I think that you should be using your hashtags to find your ideal client, which means hashtagging your ideal locations to shoot at. And there's like a million different hashtags that you can do for a certain location. So I live in Boston, so I can do hashtag Boston wedding, hashtag Boston engagement, hashtag Boston elopement, hashtag Boston engagement photographer, hashtag Boston elopement photographer, hashtag Boston wedding photographer, hashtag Massachusetts wedding photographer, hashtag Massachusetts wedding, hashtag Massachusetts elopement, blah, 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 blah. Okay, you get it. And then I can do it for New England, the greater places. I can do it for places I want to shoot at. All of that, I can do it for really specific places. Like I just did an elopement at a lighthouse, so I can do hashtag Scituate lighthouse wedding, Scituate lighthouse photographer, that kind of stuff. So when somebody is searching that specific location that they want to do a photo shoot at, your pictures come up. It doesn't matter if this hashtag only has like 100 posts on it, because if somebody is searching that, then they're gonna find your photo. And if this is one of your ideal locations to shoot at, then chances are they're gonna look at your profile and hopefully you guys will be a good fit. So I really think location specific hashtags are the most important hashtags to use. Obviously switch them up every photo so you don't get shadow banned. I don't know that much about Instagram, but I know that you don't want to be shadow banned, so make sure you switch them up. Number 3 has to do with feature accounts. So I don't know if it's worth your time to try and get featured by these big accounts. It would be super cool, definitely, but if I were you and I was trying to find leads through Instagram, then I would try to have like the smaller location specific place feature accounts trying to feature my photos. So like there's a few in Boston, like Boston Weddings or Wed Boston, and I find that people who are looking for wedding photographers in Boston go to those pages to search because they're more specific. I'm probably not gonna like go try to find my wedding photographer on Junebug Weddings unless I'm trying to spend like $1 million on my wedding and I'm just like getting anyone from anywhere. But for clients who are like looking at an ideal specific location, I feel like they'll probably look for those feature accounts more for their photographers. So if you can get featured by them instead, I think that's probably a better option to try and tag them instead. So just look up those places and also make sure that you're engaging with those accounts, because I feel like they would much more likely rather have someone who is going to like post that they got featured, thank them, engage with them, respond to comments, all that kind of stuff, because it helps them out just as much as it helps you. So I think you need to make sure to look at it as more of a reciprocal relationship and see like what you can do for them, etc, etc. Please don't message them and be like, I have this many followers and if you feature me then I'm gonna do this for you. Not what I mean at all, but if you're commenting and consistently engaging, they know that you bring something to their community, and so I feel like they're more likely to feature you. Those are pretty much the 3 ways that I get clients to my page, and that is half the battle for sure. But when they're on my page, I just want to make sure I can convert that view into a lead. So the first thing that I recommend you looking at when it comes to your feed is making sure that you have a niche I don't know if you're supposed to say niche or niche, but whatever the heck it is, make sure you have that. So I photograph a couple other things besides weddings. I do stuff for this local restaurant near me. I've done bloggers. I sometimes do family sessions. I do pets all the time, but I never advertise it on my page because I want my page to only book me for weddings. So whenever anyone comes to my page, they're like, wow, she's a wedding photographer, that's all she does, she's a specialist, she's amazing at it, etc., etc. I think that when you post too much variety of work, then it looks like you are not a specialist in any area of work. It's kind of like, instead of going to like a 5-star Italian restaurant, you go to like the food court, and it's like the food court isn't gonna do like any specific food really that well. Like everything's gonna be fine, but if you want like really good Italian food, you're gonna go to an Italian restaurant. You know what I mean? That's like the analogy I have for niching down on Instagram. So just make sure that people know that you're a specialist in whatever you do, and if you do different things, that's totally fine. I would probably make different accounts for it. Yeah, so you just want to make sure that it's consistent, and something that goes along with this is make sure your editing style is consistent. It's totally fine if you are evolving and you're trying to figure out your editing style, but once you have it, I think you need to stick to it, because people are going to want to know what their photos are going to look like when they hire you, and if it's kind of all over the place, they don't really know what they're going to get. So you really want to have a specific editing style that is true to you, so your clients can know what to expect from you when they hire you. And then the last part, which I think you've heard everyone talk about a million times, is to show your face on your feed. I don't know if you guys have ever like looked at other photographers, but whenever I go to a photographer's feed, I'm like, okay, cool, her photos are beautiful, what does she look like, or what does he look like, and see if I can like relate to them, or if they look like really cool or like my type of person at all. So you need to make sure that you're showing up on your feed. As uncomfortable as it is, it really does help. It helps people connect to you, and it helps put a face behind the camera, which is really important, because obviously we are preaching connection with all of our couples, but we can't really do that if we don't show ourselves. So make sure that you're showing yourself. And then to go along with that, show your personality. Such an easy way to do this is in your stories. Your stories should be such a fun place for you to just like show your daily life and what you're like, and it really helps your clients get to know you before even reaching out to you. So one of the biggest game changers in my business have been when I've actually showed my personality. My leads used to be just like, okay, your pictures are pretty, like we don't really know about you, what do you charge? And now my leads are like, oh my god, we love you so much, we love the dogs, we want to go on this hike with you, like blah blah blah. Like people really know me, or they feel like they know me through my Instagram, so they're already connected to me in some way, so they're already like really invested in the relationship that we're gonna build, which makes them a lot more likely to book with me than if they didn't know anything about me and they weren't sure we're gonna get along and they just like my pictures. So it's such a good way to connect with your clients before you even meet them. But yeah, that is basically how I get clients to find me through Instagram, and then convert those views to leads later on, which books me clients, and hopefully that will help you guys do the same. So best of luck with all of that, and let me know on Instagram what you want my next video to be, so I can help you guys out even more. Thanks guys, bye.